Most HOA stories are about fines, letters, or endless bickering over mailbox colors. But this one turned into something out of a movie the moment Karen, our HOA president, decided she was bold enough to tow the wrong truck. It all started on a Tuesday afternoon. My neighbor across the street, an old friend of mine named Hank, had invited me over for a beer. We were sitting on his porch when a black sheriff's department truck pulled up near my driveway. It wasn't there by accident. Hank's brother, Deputy Collins, had stopped by during his lunch break. He parked in front of my property because I'd given him permission, simple as that. Karen, however, saw that black truck with the sheriff's emblem on the side and immediately smelled blood. She had been itching for a fight with me for months, claiming I was breaking HOA parking ordinances, even though my land technically wasn't part of her jurisdiction. Sure enough, she stomped out of her house, phone already pressed to her ear, and started snapping photos. "This is an unauthorized vehicle," she barked across the street. "It's not compliant with HOA guidelines." Collins leaned back against his truck, sipping his soda, and said, "Ma'am, this is a county vehicle. I'm on duty." Karen smirked. "On duty or not, you're in violation. I've already called the tow company." Hank and I exchanged a look. Was she really about to do this? 15 minutes later, a tow truck rolled up, its driver looking nervous. Karen ran over, waving her clipboard like a badge. "Yes, this one. Tow it immediately. HOA authority overrides parking privileges." The driver hesitated. Ma'am, this is a sheriff's vehicle." Karen snapped. "I don't care whose it is. Tow it." Collins calmly stepped forward, pulled out his badge, and said, "You want to rethink that?" The driver froze. Karen, not catching on, yelled, "Don't listen to him. That's just a fake badge. He's bluffing." I swear Hank nearly choked on his beer. Collins sighed, pulled out his radio, and called it in. "Dispatch. This is Unit 47. I've got an HOA president attempting to tow a marked sheriff's vehicle and obstructing law enforcement. Requesting backup." Karen's face went white, but before she could run, 2 more cruisers pulled into the subdivision. Lights flashing, sirens cutting through the quiet neighborhood. Officers stepped out, already aware of the situation thanks to Collins' radio call. "Ma'am," one officer said firmly, "you are interfering with law enforcement property. That's a crime." Karen stammered. But it's an HOA violation. I'm the president. I have authority." The officer shook his head. "You don't have authority over law enforcement vehicles. You don't even have authority over this property. This isn't HOA land." The tow truck driver, realizing how deep this was going, quickly unhooked his chains and muttered an apology before driving off. He wanted nothing to do with what came next. Karen tried to backpedal, claiming she didn't know it was real. But Collins had already activated his body cam. The footage was clear. Her demanding the tow, her insisting his badge was fake, her threatening the driver with fines. The officers placed her under arrest for obstruction and attempted interference with government property. Her shrieking could be heard all the way down the street as the cuffs went on. The HOA board held an emergency meeting the following weekend. Half the neighborhood showed up, furious that their president had humiliated them all by trying to tow a sheriff's truck. By unanimous vote, she was stripped of her position. The county prosecutor didn't go lightly on her either. While she avoided jail time thanks to a plea deal, she ended up with probation, fines, and a record she'd never escape. As for me and Hank, we still laugh about it on his porch. Every time a patrol truck drives through, they give us a wave, and we remember the day Karen thought her clipboard had more authority than the sheriff's department. The HOA hasn't tried to push me around since. And Karen? Well, let's just say she's a lot quieter these days, because in the end, she learned a lesson the hard way. You can't tow the law.